In a participatory economy, it goes on in worker self-managed enterprises or workplaces. So there is no boss. There's not a bunch of stockholders that own the company and they hire a manager and that manager is telling everybody what to do. So that's a big difference. Also, how you're paid upon what basis is a big difference. That it's your coworkers who are going to decide, did you work significantly or noticeably harder than I did or longer than I did? Did you in some way do things that are did you perform tasks that were less desirable and I had some easier ones to do that were more desirable? It's your coworkers that are gonna make decisions about that in one way or another, and that's going to be the basis for any differences in your income or your consumption rights. Well, that's very different too. And the other thing that's going to be different is that job descriptions will be quite different. There won't be jobs where all the activities and tasks you carry out are desirable and empowering. And then somebody else's job description is one where all the different tasks that they carry out are the nasty tasks, the ones that nobody really wants to do or enjoys doing, and tasks that in no way, empower you to sort of really wrap your brain around making decisions at the workplace and how we're going to change the way we're doing things. This begs the question, however, about whether or not there's still going to be work that is unenjoyable. And this is a subtle issue. Right now, the way work is carried out is designed by the owners of enterprises, not by the workers who have to carry it out. Well, you could argue, well, if it's the workers who have to carry out the tasks, then when they think about how to do it, they will probably design workplace environments and organize the work process so it's not as burdensome and unenjoyable. If they are free to design the workplace process so it's as enjoyable as possible, then presumably it will be more enjoyable on average than it is in capitalist workplaces. I mean, you could argue the same thing about, communist workplaces. If it's the commissar who gets to decide and it's not the workers themselves, is the commissar actually going to design work to be as pleasurable as possible? Probably not. I think it's a mistake, however, to assume that somehow work will now become always enjoyable. I mean, the question is, can you foresee a time when technological change and having robots do all the nasty, dirty things, where we now have a workplace where, yes, but I suspect that is still in our distant future. There will remain tasks that most people on average would rather be doing, would rather have the leisure time than have to carry out. So I think that when you think about what work would be like in a participatory economy, it's a total difference in who's deciding how it's done. And it's a total difference in terms of how it is that tasks are combined into actually job descriptions. I doubt that all of the nasty tasks that nobody really wants to do will be eliminated all that quickly. They'll be shared more fairly, and they'll be compensated for more fairly for those who carry them out. I think it's a mistake to assume that they will somehow completely be eliminated. Although I think there's every reason to be hopeful that as soon as the workers who have to carry out tasks are in the position to design new technologies, that they will certainly, put a much greater emphasis on let's design new technologies, that actually make work more pleasant and get rid of the unpleasant parts as quickly as possible. I think there's every reason to be hopeful in that regard, but that's not the same as saying that immediately everybody's going to want to go to work, as much as they would like to have leisure time.